Hi, my name is John Drux with LiveCalif.com. I'm a real estate broker in Fresno, California, and I've done a series of documentaries, commentary. I finished The Short Sale of the American Dream because everything to do with housing, I'm going to put under change because, again, if we're going to change, we need to start with the housing market. Again, I heard on the Dylan Ratigan show on MSNBC that there's $36 trillion worth of mortgages outstanding in the United States of America. So what bigger thing can we change is the housing market? And again, my life's been turned upside down by the housing market, and that's why I'm doing this. I did a video called Plan to Fix Housing Market in a Nutshell. This is an expansion on that, because again, I wanted to try to make it as quick as possible, my plan to fix the housing market. So the first step is for troubled homeowners to contact their bank. And I use that term loosely because a lot of these loans are actually held by a group of investors, or who knows, but when it comes down to it, taxpayer, you're probably holding these mortgages because most of the mortgages are backed by the federal government. Who's the federal government? It's the taxpayer. So again, the customer would contact their bank, their loan servicer, and that I've had a couple conversations, and it maybe gets into why we have a problem. That the servicers of these loans, usually large banks, Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, if they're not actually the holders of these mortgages, do they really have an incentive to avoid foreclosure? I would think just the loss of business from servicing the loan might make them want to listen to the customer a little bit, but again, it's the whole situation here. Loans were bundled, bad loans were bundled, but we need to fix the problem. We need to quit worrying about who is on the hook, because again, when it comes down to it, my guess is the taxpayer's on the hook. We need to fix this problem now, and my suggestion to President Obama is your best chances of being re-elected, is to fix the housing market. Second one would be the end of wars, but again, fix the housing market. There isn't a bigger problem in America. So again, the customer would contact the bank, the loan servicer, seeking modification, seeking options. And the second step would be is the federal government set up a website for the customers, the troubled homeowners, to enter their information into a government database, giving loan numbers and their situation and what they're trying to accomplish. And again, the goal here needs to be to keep people in their homes. Again, I belong to realtor organizations that their whole emphasis has been having people walk away from their homes. Again, an association that's here to promote homeownership, protect the real estate business. Their main focus has been on how to help people walk away from their homes. They've built them websites. They've done everything. It needs to be, how can we keep these people in their home? Because again, yeah, there might be a little bit of business the way it is now for the short sale superstar, but there's no traditional seller's business. And I've always said, if you own a house, why would you want to do something that's driving down the value of houses? If we can turn this market around, you're going to make more money in a good market. So again, the government database, and it's basically a watchdog group And again, it would be under the Finance Consumer Protection Agency that was just put together by President Obama. And it would be under, I believe there's like a 1-800-HOPE for trying to keep people in their homes. It'd be all associated with that. So again, step one is the customer to contact the banks. Step two is to enter their information into a government database to track the progress of trying to keep people in their homes. Keep all parties dealing in good faith. The third step is to put the simple rule in that for real estate brokers to advertise a price, they need to know that that property can be sold for the advertised price. That's a basic, fundamental rule of business in the United States of America. I believe it's a law. If you're going to advertise a product, you need to know you can sell it for that price. For 4.5 years, for some reason, this rule, this law, has not been enforced. I guess in our effort to help people. And again, by them doing this, it allows a certain group of short sale superstars, not saying all, because again, I'm not saying all short sales are bad, but for a real estate broker to advertise a price, he needs to know he can sell it for that price. Step 4 is the banks giving options to the homeowner. Again, the emphasis is on how do we keep the homeowner in their home. First, we look at the value. Me as a real estate broker, I can click one button on my computer and give you a range of value. In 2 clicks of a button, I can give you a full comparative analysis. So this whole idea that the banks can't somehow give a value, it's wrong. It doesn't take that long. And again, before anything was any type of modification, there would need to probably be a full appraisal, but at least a starting point would be to try to come up with a range of value for this home. And what are the options? If most of the people that are walking away from their homes right now, they're underwater. Again, they owe the bank more than the house is worth. So that portion, the underwater portion, would be held as a silent second. Again, the difference between the value of the house today and the amount owed would be held on a silent second by the banks. And every year after that, the value would be looked at again, and the homeowner would need to pay on the value of the home. If prices start going up, the amount of that silent second would be reduced. And again, the silent seconds due and payable upon sale. Or work it out through foreclosure, forbearance, or short sale. The next thing the banks need to look at is interest rates. And there's no reason that a person can go out and buy a house at today's rates, but someone can't be given that after they own the house, especially if it helps them keep them in their house. So again, the second step would be give the homeowner today's current rates. And again, this goes with any federally backed loan, especially people with private party loans and that, it needs to be looked at. But anything that the government's in any way, shape, or form on the hook for, we need to give the homeowner every opportunity to stay in their house. We need to fix the housing market now. Something I've tried to do for over 4 years. Third step. So even at today's value and today's rates, the homeowner still can't afford the home. Need to look at maybe extending the loan. I've always thought is, what's wrong with a 40-year loan, a 50-year loan? Chances are the person's really never going to pay off their home anyways. I would like to know the amount of loans that actually make it all the way to the maturity date. Between refinance and, a certain percentage people just pay cash for. But again, I would like to know the number of the people that actually go 30 years to make every payment without refinancing or anything. So again, why would it not make sense to do a 40 and 50-year loan if we're trying to get the monthly payment down to where someone can afford it? Another option for someone in my situation, I don't have an income, and homeowners would be given 6 months to 1 year to see if their financial situation improves. So again, let's say we do it'd be the first 6 months first. And what they do is they just add the 6 months to the end of the loan. So instead of being due in January of 2020, you'd be due in June 2020. Again, just basically forgive 6 months and put it on the back end and see if the person's financial situation improves, and if it looks like, hey, maybe they're getting close to securing a job, having income, maybe extend it out for another 6 months. Because again, it just gets into, if we can keep people in their homes, there'll be less homes on the market, which will be less losses for the banks. And actually, if the taxpayer is truly on the hook for these loans, less money for the taxpayer, and everyone else is doing better, because guess what? The market's starting to improve. The American dream is starting to wake up. Again, the idea that people could possibly stay in their home for 6 months without paying and put it on the back end is a great idea, because it takes over that amount of time for a bank to foreclose generally anyways, with all the backlog. And again, it would give the people a chance to see if their situation improves, because if we can improve the housing market, I have a feeling a lot of people situations may improve. Again, the housing market is the backbone of the U.S. economy. And if the taxpayer is on the hook for $36 trillion worth of mortgage debt, we need to do something about this. So let's say the situation is that after 6 months, their financial situation is not any better, or they need to move on. They need to move somewhere else to secure a job. That's when you look at the short sale, or forbearance, or foreclosure. Again, if one of the options is a short sale, they would already have the range of value. But in that situation, I believe an appraiser should visit the property and see what the true value of that property is. And the banks then would say to the customer, go find yourself a real estate broker, and you need to list the house for this amount, and you need to list the house for certain commission, and you need to give the real estate broker a certain length of time. Because again, as a real estate broker, if I go talk to a traditional seller needs to set price, commission, and expiration date at the time of listing. If a traditional seller needs to do it, everyone needs to do it. I believe the banks do it under foreclosures. I wouldn't know because, again, to be a foreclosure person, you need to be a big company with big insurance policies, and that's sometimes I wonder if maybe the lack of effort to try to fix the housing market is that the big companies are allowed to control the market. Little broker like me can't compete with them anymore. It does make me wonder. It makes me wonder how 4.5 years later I'm still talking about subject to pricing in the multiple listing service. Something that's not allowed in the sale of any other product. Again, after I did plan to fix the housing market in a nutshell, shortly after that, it was announced that the Department of Transportation, federal government, set rules on how airline fares can be advertised. For 4.5 years, you've allowed real estate brokers to list houses, properties, for any price they want, not knowing that they can be sold for that price, and following up with 2 words, subject to. So again, under my plan, 4th step, the banks have tried everything possible to keep this person in their home. Short sale may be an option, but again, the bank would need to tell the homeowner what price that house could be sold for them to sign off on the short sale, what commission will be paid to both the listing agent and the selling agent, just like any other multiple listing, and how much time the real estate broker has to sell that property. Just like every other listing, every traditional listing. President Obama spoke in his State of the Union that we need to operate under one set of rules. I told the multiple listing service that I belong to at least 3 years ago that you're operating under 2 sets of rules. You have one set of rules for a traditional seller, and you have another set of rules for a short seller. We need to operate under one set of rules. And those set of rules need to be, you need to set price, commission, and expiration date at time of listing. So, again, 4th step, exhausted all ways possible to keep a person in the home. One of the options could be a short sale. Another option is forbearance. It's actually something I'm looking at. I'm hoping I get some time to see if my situation improves, but it's where you basically come to an agreement with the bank on foreclosure. How much time will they give you to live in the house? and you turn in your keys at the end. Instead of playing the hiding game, delay game, come throw me out of my house game. Again, under a forbearance program would be homeowner, and actually the forbearance would be after the 6th month and possibly a year to see if the homeowner situation improves. Because again, if we can fix the housing market, there's going to be a lot of people in a lot better shape than they are today. And actually, if the values start going up, people might not be so quick to walk away from their homes. Because again, it gets into, at today's rates, today's values, possibly even a 40 or 50-year loan, can you rent cheaper than it costs you to own? You can't. At least not in Fresno, California. A lot of places in this country. If you give the homeowners those options, unless they're leaving the area, it wouldn't make sense for them to walk away and go pay rent for more money somewhere else. So, again, the housing market, it's a mess. I told them over 4 years ago how to fix the market. No one's listened. I'm reaching out to anyone that will step forward, because again, what I find one of the most amazing things about this whole situation with me is I've talked to a lot of other real estate people, and they all somewhat agree with me, but not one person's ever stepped forward to say, John, I'll help you in your crusade. I've done this all on my own. And again, my life has been turned upside down. I don't know what's going to happen to me, to be honest with you, and that's why I need a job. I need a job to help people stay in their homes. That's the job I would like. Not somehow saying I'm a real estate professional, but I'm going to help you walk away from a home. I'm going to help you not I'm going to help you not to be a homeowner. It doesn't make any sense. Again, I'm looking for people, other real estate people, to actually stand up and say this is wrong. I can't be the only real estate broker in Fresno, California, in the state of California, in the United States of America, any place that they allow subject to pricing and multiple listing service. I cannot be the only real estate person that thinks this is wrong. But I'm the only one talking. And I'm going to keep talking until something's done. My theme song on this Fix the Housing Market is I Won't Back Down. Tom Petty originally did it, and I have a talented kid from Fresno singing it. Again, I won't back down. I'll go to my grave fighting this, and actually that's probably not too far away if something's not done, because I'm feeling a little crazy at this point. That for somehow something so basic is that you need to know what price you can sell a product for before you advertise it. Again, it is beyond me how this has been allowed for over 4 years. Something needs to change now. It's wrong. It was wrong 4.5 years ago. Again, I'm not going to back down. You might, if you don't change this, you're going to have videos in your face until something's done. And I'm going to document everything. And again, it may be a documentation on the foreclosure of a house I bought for my kids to live in. And I'm going to be really interested to see how this all works. Because again, on some of the short sales I've seen, and actually I went on an interview with a company that was going to get in the short sale game. And they were talking about having cash buyers. And I've seen a couple other emails that talk about short sale training and how they have a group of cash buyers. Come in, list the property way below market value, subject to, and then turn around and have a cash buyer come walking in. We have people playing games with the housing market, and the housing market's ready to take down the world economy. Someone needs to stand up with me right now and put an end to this. Put an end to the games. Put the emphasis on keeping people in their homes, not helping them walk away. Again, you're looking at a guy that I just don't understand it. So, again, JohnDrucksLiveCalif.com. This documentary commentary is called Change, because if we're going to change anything, we need to start with the housing market. Like 4 years ago. So, have a great day, and excuse me while I turn off my camera.